Love bombing, the relationship sugar rush. Love bombing is like getting a sugar rush from the most amazing candy in the world, except the candy is actually poison and you're about to crash harder than a Windows 95 computer. It's when someone showers you with excessive attention, affection, and gifts right at the beginning of a relationship to make you addicted to their approval. Love bombers come at you like you're the most incredible person who ever existed. They're texting you constantly, buying you expensive gifts after knowing you for 3 days, talking about your future together before you've even had a proper conversation, and basically treating you like you're the main character in their personal romantic movie. It feels incredible at first because who doesn't want to feel like they're the center of someone's universe? But love bombing isn't actually about love, it's about control. They're not falling for who you really are. They're creating an artificial high that makes you crave their attention like a drug. The problem is that love bombing creates an unrealistic standard that can't be maintained. Once they've got you hooked on the constant validation and grand gestures, they start pulling back, leaving you wondering what you did wrong and desperately trying to get back to that initial high. It's like emotional whiplash that leaves you confused and craving more. Gaslighting, the reality hijacker. Gaslighting is like having someone constantly mess with the settings on your personal reality TV show until you're not sure what's real anymore. It's when someone makes you question your own memory, perception, and sanity by consistently denying things that happened or twisting situations to make you feel crazy. Gaslighters are masters at rewriting history. They'll do something hurtful, then when you bring it up, they'll act like it never happened or claim you're being too sensitive or remembering it wrong. They turn your own mind against you until you start doubting your ability to perceive reality accurately. It starts small. Maybe they deny saying something they clearly said, or they claim you agreed to something you definitely didn't. Over time, this constant reality distortion makes you lose confidence in your own judgment and become dependent on their version of events. The really insidious part is that gaslighting makes you think you're the problem. You start apologizing for things that aren't your fault, second-guessing your reactions to their behavior, and eventually you become so confused about what's real that you stop trusting yourself entirely. It's like psychological warfare disguised as a relationship. Breadcrumbing, the attention vending machine. Breadcrumbing is like being fed by someone who gives you just enough crumbs to keep you from starving, but never enough to actually feel satisfied. It's when someone gives you just enough attention and affection to keep you interested, but never enough to feel secure or move the relationship forward. Breadcrumbers are experts at the minimal effort, maximum impact strategy. They'll send you a flirty text right when you're about to give up on them, like your favorite song on repeat, or show up with just enough charm to reel you back in when you start to lose interest. They keep you in this weird limbo where you're never sure where you stand. One day they're acting like you're the love of their life. The next day, they're barely responding to your messages. It's like trying to have a relationship with someone who's permanently set to maybe. The cruel part is that breadcrumbing exploits your hope. Every small gesture feels like progress. Every tiny bit of attention feels like proof that they really do care. But you're essentially running on a hamster wheel, getting just enough to keep going, but never actually getting anywhere. Future faking, the promise pyramid scheme. Future faking is like someone selling you a beautiful house that doesn't exist, taking your deposit, and then acting surprised when you show up with a moving truck. It's when someone makes elaborate promises about your future together that they have no intention of keeping, just to keep you invested in the relationship. Future fakers are constantly painting pictures of amazing tomorrows, trips you'll take together, places you'll live, how perfect your life will be once certain things happen. They're basically relationship travel agents selling you vacation packages to destinations that aren't real. They use these fake promises to get you to tolerate bad treatment in the present. Things will be different when we move in together, or I'll change after this stressful period. Or, we'll be so happy once I get that promotion. It's always jam tomorrow, never jam today. The devastating part is that future faking makes you complicit in your own disappointment. You start making decisions based on promises that exist only in their imagination. turning down other opportunities and reorganizing your life around a future that was never going to happen. Triangulation, the drama triangle champion. Triangulation is like someone turning your relationship into a twisted reality TV show where there is a star and everyone else is competing for their attention. It's when someone deliberately involves third parties in your relationship to create jealousy, competition, and insecurity. Triangulators are always mentioning other people who are supposedly interested in them, comparing you to their exes, or bringing up friends who understand them better. They turn your relationship into a competition where you're constantly fighting for the top spot. They might flirt with others in front of you, share intimate details about your relationship with other people, or create situations where you feel like you have to prove your worth compared to someone else. It's like being in a relationship with someone who's always auditioning for upgrades. The toxic part is that triangulation makes you focus on beating the competition instead of evaluating whether the relationship is actually good for you. You get so caught up in winning their attention that you forget to ask whether their attention is worth winning in the first place. Hot and cold behavior, the emotional whiplash machine. Hot and cold behavior is like dating someone who's stuck in an elevator between floors. One day they're all the way up on the penthouse level of affection, the next day they're in the basement of indifference. It's when someone alternates between being incredibly loving and completely distant for no apparent reason. Hot and cold people create this addictive cycle where you never know which version of them you're going to get. One week they're planning your future together, the next week they're acting like strangers. It's like playing relationship roulette where you never know if you're going to hit the jackpot or lose everything. This behavior keeps you constantly on edge, always trying to figure out what you did to cause the shift and what you can do to get back to the hot phase. You start walking on eggshells, analyzing every interaction for clues about which mood they'll be in next. The psychological impact is brutal because intermittent reinforcement is one of the most powerful ways to create addiction. Just like slot machines, the unpredictable rewards make you keep trying harder, convinced that the next interaction will be the one that brings back their affection permanently. Isolation tactics, the social circle assassin. Isolation tactics are like someone slowly turning down the volume on all your other relationships until theirs is the only voice you can hear clearly. It's when someone gradually separates you from your friends, family, and support system to make you more dependent on them. Isolators start subtly. Maybe they don't like your best friend and always have a reason why you can't hang out, or they create drama whenever you make plans with family. They slowly poison your other relationships by making you feel guilty for spending time with anyone else. They might claim your friends are bad influences, your family doesn't understand you, or that other people are jealous of your relationship. Gradually, it becomes easier to just avoid the conflict and spend all your time with them instead of dealing with their complaints about everyone else. The dangerous part is that isolation happens so slowly you don't realize it's happening until you look around one day and realize you have no one else to turn to. By then, you're completely dependent on someone who's proven they don't want you to have any other sources of support or perspective. Financial control, the money manipulator. Financial control is like someone slowly taking over the steering wheel of your financial car until you're just a passenger who can't even control where you're going. It's when someone uses money as a weapon to control your choices, independence, and ability to leave the relationship. Financial controllers might start by offering to help with your finances, then gradually take over more control. They might insist on joint accounts, take over bill paying, or make all financial decisions while claiming they're just being helpful or responsible. They create financial dependence by discouraging you from working, sabotaging your job opportunities, or running up debt in your name. They might give you an allowance like you're a child, monitor every purchase you make, or use financial emergencies as excuses to take control. The trap is that financial abuse makes it nearly impossible to leave. If you have no access to money, no credit, no job, and no savings, how are you supposed to escape? They've essentially made you financially hostage while pretending it's for your own good. Emotional manipulation, the feelings puppeteer. Emotional manipulation is like someone turning your emotions into a puppet show where they're pulling all the strings and you're dancing to their tune without realizing it. It's when someone uses your feelings, insecurities, and emotions against you to get what they want. Emotional manipulators are experts at pushing your buttons. They know exactly what to say to make you feel guilty, scared, angry, or insecure. They might use your past traumas against you, weaponize your insecurities, or play victim whenever you try to set boundaries. They're masters of emotional blackmail, threatening to hurt themselves if you leave, claiming you're destroying them if you don't do what they want, or making you feel responsible for their emotional state. It's like being held emotionally hostage by someone who's pretending to be the victim. The cruelest part is that emotional manipulation uses your empathy and love against you. Your caring nature becomes the weapon they use to control you, making you feel like you're being mean or selfish whenever you try to protect yourself from their manipulation. Now you know every major red flag that should make you run faster than you've ever ran before. These aren't just personality quirks or relationship challenges. They're warning signs that someone isn't ready for a healthy relationship and might be dangerous to your mental health. Trust your gut. Believe the red flags, and remember that you deserve someone who makes you feel safe, respected, and valued without all the psychological warfare.